Welcome, Aries, to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th of February for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. I'm going to share with you, first of all, the big themes of what can be an incredibly powerful week that can have implications not just for this week, but for many months and years to come. It's that key. I'll then share on screen the event chart, which you can see on my monitor, and explain how those influences are going to manifest into the week as it unfolds. I'll then go through those influences frame by frame to give a clear picture of what you can personally expect. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. Thank you so much for your views, likes, comments, and hypes. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and help it to continue to thrive. So this is a week when we're going to see a solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius on Tuesday for the first time in 8 years. The sign of Aquarius for you is very much about your long-term plan, but it can be about your connections where you collaborate, and it can also be about the purpose you have that goes beyond the material. But it is an eclipse which clashes with the restless, disruptive energies of Uranus, and it does provide a backdrop for 6 months. What will it mean for you? But hot on the tails of that, because the eclipse occurs just under 29 degrees, the sixth successive new moon at that degree, the sun moves into Pisces on Wednesday. And this year's Pisces season is going to be amplified because we have Venus, which is exalted in the sign, very close to the North Node, which can be incredibly fated, but also the planet of communication, Mercury, which forges a brilliant link to Jupiter as we go into this week. So, right at the start of the week, you can see that your ruler, Mars, still in the sign of Aquarius, but it is coming to the end of the second decan, which is sub-ruled by Mercury. So, recently, your passion for communication has probably been very strong. But the moon is advancing towards the sun, ready for that new moon solar eclipse on Tuesday, but is also just in between the powerful and potent Pluto as well as your ruler Mars. So I think as we go into this week, but particularly for your sign, you're going to be thinking a lot about your future plans, but also about who you connect to, but importantly, their values. So when we get to Tuesday and the solar eclipse, the sun is in a square with the modern ruler of the sign of Aquarius, Uranus. And if we think back over the last 7 years, apart from the 4 months of last year when Uranus moved into the quick move in third house for you, he has been potentially shaking things up in terms of your life foundations, how you earn money, but also your values may have changed because Uranus essentially is the planet which is to do with higher truths, authenticity, and you may have actually started to do something in terms of showing your value, but also your qualities that has been more imaginative, perhaps cutting edge, because Uranus can be very much to do with innovation. But if there's something you're not quite sure of, or there's a connection or a collaboration that feels uncertain, I think it is going to show up over the next 6 months. So, for example, if you have been trying something different and you're not sure it's really working and giving you a return, it may be a time to think again, to be honest. But when it comes to friendships, the friendships you need at this particular time and through to the summer are going to be people that do align with your values. And if they don't, there could be some people who are going to spin out of your world. But then on Wednesday, we have the sun move forwards and into, for you, your 12th house, joining up with Venus, the North Node, and Mercury. Now, the 12th house can be very much to do with reflection. It may be that you find yourself being more nostalgic over the next 3 or 4 weeks. But you can also do things behind the scenes that are very valuable. That can be research. It could be that you enjoy some time of seclusion, just working out what you do want from that long term future of yours. But also, you may get together with someone from your past, a reunion of some kind. But if you are interested in the psychological, spiritual, or healing domains, they are going to be amplified over this next 4 weeks. But then that brings us to that conjunction between Saturn and Neptune in your zodiac sign. And this is the first time they've collaborated this exactly in a conjunction for 37 years. And in the sign of Aries, Saturn's in his fall because your sign is characterized by instincts and action, and that comes from your glorious ruler Mars. And Saturn could, at times, over the next 2 years through to April 2028, feel like an inhibiting influence. It may not feel that you can go forwards quite at the pace that you're used to. But in a way, that can have an advantage to you, slowing things down and helping you to evaluate things more cautiously can actually have a dividend because it can see you not do things that waste time, that won't really work out, and to be more considered in your approach. But when it comes to your physical well-being, I think it is a time to be more virtuous, Aries, to be honest. With Neptune in the mix, you may decide to give your personal identity some kind of imaginative makeover. Now, Neptune can dissolve. So if there is anything you're doing at the moment that you're not really invested in, it doesn't really consume you with excitement and passion, they could soon make way. So I feel that if you're doing anything at the moment that's more peripheral, it's a time to really close in to what's essential. So the more you use your energy from the end of this week on what really matters, and particularly when we get to the vernal equinox on the 20th of April and the sun returns to your sign, you're going to have a period when Venus first connects with Saturn, then the sun will connect with Saturn. So they're asking you really to be much more considered in your approach. So part of the message of this week, particularly with that solar eclipse, is thinking future forwards. Are you doing something which inspires your higher purpose? If the answer is no, it may be time to go back to the cosmic drawing board. But equally, you may feel that you are on the right track, but that doesn't mean to say that you won't value a little bit of personal space, downtime, and healing over the next 4 weeks with those Piscean energies. But the Saturn and Neptune energy is incredibly powerful. And if you've yet to watch your February deep dive forecast, I really would recommend you do so because I go into a lot more depth about Saturn moving into your sign, the Saturn Neptune conjunction, the solar eclipse. But critically, in the last week of this month, we have a very turbulent right angle between Mars and Uranus. And of course, Mars being your ruler, that's of particular interest to you. Please click on the image on the screen to take you through to that video. And also, if you'd like to take advantage of my offers on my printed charts, you can get your personal forecast, full 12 months from the time of order, plus your life roadmap, and apply Astro 26 at the checkout and get 50% off. If you're interested in soul or karmic astrology, you can order your draconic forecast and chart and get 50% off by adding Draco 26 at the checkout. Take care, all the best, and goodbye.